What happened?
Yeah.
Baik.
입구세 때부터는 스스로 공부를 할 뿐만이 아니고 남들을 가르칠 수 있기 시작됐다. 그렇게. 예.
不用讲啦。
刚刚仁波切是介绍那个作者哈，那个是吴卓，台湾是翻译成吴卓显菩萨，然后呢，他是叫做温珠托美，那中间比较细节的部分我比较没办法翻译哈，那就是大概，然后他有讲到说托美是无疑的意思啊，那个台湾我这边吴卓这样子 ，OK。
Please,
I cannot translate to detail. Yeah, I just
No, so Professor Wang will translate.
No. Professor Wang, I cannot see Professor Wang here.
I can see.
No. Here.
I don't know.
I already add Pima as the translator. So please, Chinese people, please, Chinese. As I send Pima, please, Chinese channel. Then because if you talk here and everyone can hear.
Others, Chinese translators and Korean translator, can you hear them? Can you hear me?
Very small Rinpoche. Very small.
Huh?
Very small, Rinpoche. We cannot hear
You
clearly.
cannot hear Vietnamese also?
Yes, we can hear, but it's not clear.
In Seoul, we can hear very clearly. It's very good.
Huh?
Korea, it's okay to hear your voice. Very good.
You have to speak a little louder. Then Chinese, Taiwanese people can hear the Chinese translator. And Koreans can hear Anila's voice.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
very
okay.
clear.
Very
Very
clear.
clear, very good. Then I don't know what happened to Taiwanese. It's you have to fix because
哦，可以啊，可以啊。
你们可以听吗？王教授的讲话你们可以听吗？
好，那我就开那个手机的。
It is little important because today, I think most of the most of the listeners or participants are from Vietnam, and the second one is Taiwanese. 30 people I heard, and then Korean and Malaysians. I don't know how many.
We are 18.
Sorry,
18. 1-8
from
attended. Yeah. 1-18.
from Korea,
Yeah, from Korea.
18, and how many
Yeah.
from Malaysia?
Rinpoche is about five
Oh,
of
okay.
us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Include Frank. I treat him like Malaysia now.
Sorry.
No, include Frank. Frank is Chinese, but I treat him as Malaysia.
Who?
Frank.
Oh, Frank.
Frank.
Okay. So it's done, right? So can I continue?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, can I continue, Professor Wang? Can I? Hello? Can I continue? Pema?
Yes,
Yes or no?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Then when his age of when he became 21 years old, he became very learned, very great teacher, and he was teaching all the philosophies and logics and all the intellectual studies of Buddhism. And then when he was just a minute, huh? Yeah, when he was age of 29 years old, then he got ordinated from Namka Sangye, the teacher Namka Sangye. He got full ordination. He became a bhikshu. And from age of 32 to 41, he took the responsibility to take care of his own seat, Echoing. And then there was a great monastery called Echoing, and they requested him to become the abbot of that, but he did not accept. But and then he have then Then therefore, after that, essential practicing lineage and the intellectual lineage both was flourished and taken care and flourished it very well. Then he traveled to the central Tibet, Kunkin Pudul Nikala. Then from great master called Pudul Nika, and he received a lot of teachings. And so he Ginzini Palasingeso in, and that's not very important. But then, in the age of 75, in 1369, at his seat for Mulchu retreat center, he parinirvana, or he passed away.
보동수선이라고 하는 데서 주지로 재직을 했습니다. 예, 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 예. 42세에는 좀 은둔 수행점을 하셨고요. 그러다가 67세 여행도 하시고 설법도 하시다가 75세에 이제 입적을 하셨다 합니다. 예.
Is it okay? Can you hear now? Okay. Then after that, in his lifetime, his own writing was the 37 practice of Bodhisattva, and then many commentaries he was written on Vajrayana, and commentary of Bodhisattva Charya Avatara, Bodhisattva's way of life, Lupusa Shinlun, and for all those teachings, he have written many commentaries, and we call him the Shantideva of Tibet.
우리는 그를 티베트의 산티디버라고 여긴다. 그렇게 이야기하는 것 같았어요.
So who is translating into Korean? Anila or Sonam Sangpo or Shirabozer? Three of you.
제가 베셀,
Okay, okay. So you understand what I'm saying, right? If I'm talking too long, then you let me know. I will speak shorter.
yeah, shorter is much better.
Okay. So at the beginning, we decided to how to say share seven what do you call this? 7 chapters every day. But then I thought that in the beginning of September, I might have to go to Pangi on the work of our temple to see the statues. So anyway, we will miss 1 or 2 days. So I will continue after I get in Vietnam. So I thought we can do a little bit like 5 chapters a day. Is that fine? Yeah. So since today is a beginning of the teachings of Bodhisattva, I'm sorry, 37 practice of Bodhisattva. So at the beginning, as a tradition, I will recite some prayers, and then I will start the try to explain you much as I can. 도쟁에선 타와 dom제 방배제를 담배 추니 견제대 고담대라 차서로 말씀 좀 해셔 버르시는 마게 민간한 거 뭐니 소소사리 이시트와 무슨 계획 용나 차서로 우리치기 예보라나 무슨 상계 큰게 뭐니 자심 적으로 무슨 던제배 사벨라메 샬라소와인데 So just to tell you that this teaching from whom I have received is that when I was a very young boy, when I was around, I think I was around 8 or 9, I received this teaching from one of the Nyingmapa's Kempo Tupten. He is quite profound practitioner and learned who used to live in Pangan retreat house near to Manali. At that time he was a hermit, but now that hermit place became quite big institution. Then after that I have received this teaching from one of the very great and very learned Kempo and great master called Khenchen Noryam in Darjeeling when I was in Thubten Sangha Chuling Monastery, and we were able to receive this teaching from him, accompanying His Holiness Gyalwang Drukpa, and we were around. I'm not very sure, but I think I was around 14 to 15 years old. I got the privilege to receive this teaching once from him again. And the third time I've received this teaching once in Paro, Kichu, that's in Bhutan, from Nyoshu Khen Rinpoche. He's also a Nyingmapa Kempo. And very great Dzogchen practitioner, and he was a very close friend of my father. And after my father's death, he was like kind of my godfather, and I received from him. And then fourth time I got the privilege to receive a very brief teaching from Kyabje His Holiness Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche as well. So that's how I have received this teaching of 37 practice of Bodhisattva. I don't know in Asia, but in West he became very famous. He was also teacher to Sogyal Rinpoche and to Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche and to many.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe Vietnamese and Korean and Malaysian, I don't know if you know the name of Nyoshu Khenpo, but Taiwanese people, I think you know Nyoshu Khenpo. He has been to Taiwan many times. Do you remember? Nyoshu Khenpo.
Rinpoche, this name is which name is Nushukan Rinpoche?
Yes.
Okay, then we know this.
Nyoshu Khen Rinpoche, he have voice is not very good. Like that he speaks in the last ages.
Okay.
So that is the lineage where how I received, and So that's why I have the privilege to share with you a few of my understanding of 37 practice of Bodhisattva. 37 practice of Bodhisattva, or Gyatse Laglen Sudunma, is the title of this how to say, profound teaching. Then in Tibetan tradition, any author, if he or she writes writes on a Buddhist book according to the discipline or the of an emperor, he must one must how to say express. There's a tradition that Chepa means taking refuge and to praise and to Bodhisattva or to Buddha or whatever Buddha, so that it indicates that which part of the teaching of Buddha does it belong to. Dulwa, Dode, Ngompa. There are three teachings, right? Dulwa, Dode, Ngompa. The teaching of Buddha is how to say contained in three parts. So according to that, you must one has to indicate. Dulwa means the Vinaya part. In Dulwa is taught Vinaya. Dode is the second one, which contains meditation. Meditation. Ngonpa contains wisdom, talking about emptiness and all those kind of things. So here, the title is called 37 Practice of Bodhisattva. Therefore, it belongs to the second one, to the meditative, to the practice part of the three divisions. Practice part mainly. Of course, there will be discipline, and also there will be wisdom part, but mainly the practical part. So that is because in Tibet, the Tibetan Emperor Trisong Gyatsen, he wanted to keep the Buddha's teaching untouched by any addition, to keep it very pure and profound for the future generations. So that is very, very great. Therefore, our Tibetan Buddhism is very, very profound, very pure, and we call Ka and Tenju. Ka is the teaching of Buddha. No one can add anything in Buddha's teaching. And Tenju means non-Buddha. Non-Buddha means not Buddha Shakyamuni. Can be any other Buddha or Bodhisattva, but that is not considered as a Ka. That is considered as a Tenju done by other Bodhisattvas or great masters. So we separate that into two sections. So Ka is the word of Buddha. Actually, it should be words of Buddha, but the Ka has got three different ways. Ka, one is Buddha his own words, his own voice. Ka, which is taught by Buddha himself. Jesu Nangwe Ka, Buddha give authorization, like Heart Sutra was spoken by Cherezik. So Buddha says it is, he gives the authorization. That is also called Ka. Jesu Nangwe Ka. Chinkilabe Ka means blessed by Buddha. That is also considered as a teaching of Buddha, words of Buddha.
Cô ơi, chị ơi, xin miếng nước. Nước trà đá ngon quá. Dạ, con cảm ơn cô. Dạ được cô ơi.
Now, the 37 practice of Bodhisattva is not a Ka, but it's a Tenchu. Tenchu means not a words of Buddha, but written by Of course, by great master, as I mentioned you, by Muchutome. So therefore, there is the praise and refuge must be done at the beginning. So therefore, as a refuge and praise, bowing down to Buddha or Bodhisattva. That is why you have to do is that is first purpose is, as I mentioned earlier. The second one is to put his own ego or the pride down. The title, as you know, Gyase Laoren Sodunma, or 37 Practice of Bodhisattva. So in order to write this text, first of all, he bows down and he bows and prays to Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin Pusa in Vietnam, what you call? Genesic, how to say?
Bhutan.
Huh? Genesic.
Quan Âm.
Yeah, Quan Nam. He prays to Quan Nam. He bows to Quan Nam. He bows to
Rinpoche, you have been
Just now.
mute. No voice.
So, as I told you, the rule and regulations of the for the Tibetan authors by the king Tibetan emperor. So he follows that, and he bows down to Kuan Yin or Quan Nam or Genesic, but he uses the language of Sanskrit because this language is considered as a holy language, because most of the Mahayana teachings are taught in Sanskrit, and Theravadan or Hinayanan teachings were taught in Pali. So he uses Sanskrit language as a holy language, as a respect that Namo Loki Shoraya. Namo means, everybody uses. Chinese also use Namo. Vietnamese also use Namo. I think Korean also use Namo. We Tibetans also use Namo. Namo means what? What does Namo mean? Can you tell me? Namo.
Hỏi Nam Mô nghĩa là gì?
What does Namo mean?
Namo means so very high respect to the audience.
That's right. That's the Indian language. That's a Sanskrit language. Namo means In Tibetan, we call chakchalo. I don't know what you call in Chinese or in Korean or in Vietnamese. How you use that? Namo in Chinese, how to say? Bye.
Yes, we prostrate to the object.
Yeah, bye, right? Bye.
Yes.
Right? Prostrate means I am lower than you. That's why we prostrate. Yes. If I'm higher than you, may not prostrate. So in Korean, how do you say? Namo?
귀의합니다. 귀의? 귀의라고 하지요?
Okay, 하시오. Okay. And in Vietnamese?
Vietnam maybe kính lễ.
Kính lễ, only maybe. Okay. So Namo, Loki Shoraya. Loki means Lok. Lok means Ram. Loki Shoraya means the savior or the Lord of three Rams. You understand? Lord of three Rams. Lord of three Rams, because our Lokiteshvara is the manifestation of the how to say, the nature of the compassion. So there is no one, there should not be anyone who does not prostrate or bow to compassion, love and compassion. Right? Yeah. So, Namo Lokishwaraya. Prostrates to when he prostrates to Bodhisattva, that means the meditative part. If you prostrate to Buddha, then that means Vinaya part. And if you prostrate to Manjushri, then it is the wisdom part. So from there you can differentiate what he's going to talk about, what the author is going to talk about. Then after that, he also prostrates and bows using Tibetan language. Therefore, Kangi Chukun Rong Mesikyang Roe Tunla Chitu Chun Zepe Lama Chodang Chenre Zingunla Taktu Gusum Gupe Chaksalo. These four sentences shows the prostration. So why to prostrate? What is the why the object to whom you are prostrating is so profound? What is the reason why you are prostrating. Then he explains, Gangi Chökun Dong Mesikyang means shows the wisdom, profoundness of Cheresik or Avalokiteshvara and his guru's mind, quality of his mind. Gangi, Gang means Chichi Sugang Chidate. Gang is a term, doesn't talks a specific person. Gang means can be anyone. So the one who understands all the phenomenon existence, he understands in his wisdom, ultimately he understands that there is no place from where it comes from, moves from, or there is no place where it will disappear, where it will go. Drowa and Wongwa, coming and going. In ultimate nature, there is nothing like that. He truly understands that. You understand? Do you agree?
Yes.
We say, I come from yesterday and I will go to tomorrow, and now I'm at today. But that is only a concept of our minds, saying that I came from yesterday, I will go to tomorrow, and today I am here. But can you differentiate? Can you differentiate today and yesterday, and the difference between tomorrow and today? Externally, there is not. Right? So later on, we can discuss on. If you have question, you can ask me. I'll try to explain as much as I can. But at the moment, it's a wrong Mesik Yang. Although he understands that, he understands the ultimate truth, the reality of the existence. Even though there is the wisdom of our Avalokiteshvara or Kuan Yin or Konnam, and and Cheresik. But although he understands his own, or for sake of his own realization, he realized that, so there is no need to do anything. But at the same time, he has this great compassion that to us, which we see, there is yesterday, there is tomorrow, there is next year, there is last year, and this and that, and we are kind of how to say, caged in this kind of a concept. And therefore, we have all these samsaric problems, also as called sufferings. Therefore, in order to release us, or in order to clarify that misunderstanding or that kind of a knot which we have in our concept, in order to release that, our Avalokiteshvara's main job, or concentrates only on that matter. Therefore, I bow. Because of these two reasons, I bow to Lama. Lama means his guru, his root guru, Lama Chokdang Cheresewangla, and to Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, or maybe towards Guru's compassion. Because of that reason, he understands the nature of attitude of his teacher's mind, and he understands the attitude of Avalokiteshvara's mental quality. Therefore, Taktu means forever, or every day, I bow down with my body, speech, and mind towards both of you. So, taktu gusum gube chaksalo, mean how you will prostrate is by body, speech, and mind. So taktu means for how to say without any break, every moment he will prostrate. That means not that he cannot prostrate like this every moment can be. Not that he can use his verb, his voice and prostrate can be. That means he will follow the path of Bodhisattva's way of life, or he will engage his lifestyle as a Bodhisattva's way of life, and he will follow the footstep of Bodhisattvas every moment, every second. That is the ultimate prostration. Which we do like this prostration is just physical prostration. When we say Namo, Namo something, Namo Amitabha, Aziraphat, you say it's only verbal prostration. Sometimes you have some kind of a devotion and tear comes out of your eye, is for a momental. But he means his prostration, this prostration does not mean that. He means to engage everything, every moment. How to say, the lifestyle, change our lifestyle as a lifestyle of Bodhisattva. That is the ultimate or real prostration. So through that prostration, we can change ourselves. Can you understand me? Can you understand me, or can you understand the authors what he expresses? Then after that, after prostrating to the object of prostration, like Guru, his own Guru, and our Lokiteshvara inseparably, because as I mentioned you earlier, then now what you are going to do? What you are going to do after prostrating? What you are going to do? If you ask, then he says, he promises, he makes commitment to write what it will contain later on. He expresses now. So that is called Sampratam Chava in the rule and regulations of as an author to write a Dharma book in Tibetan tradition, as I told you, the refuge, and then must express what you are going to talk, and has to accomplish. The reason why we promise or we commit. If you commit, we will do it. If you do not commit, half, maybe do, maybe do not do. You see, so that there is a great benefit if you commit. Yeah, everyone who is listening to participating today, please put on your camera.
Mọi người mở cái video.
Yeah, no need to hide. Why? Where I don't think you are doing anything wrong. If you want to switch off, if you don't want to listen, then you can switch off. It's okay. But if you are listening, then please switch on your camera. Then the commitment of his the authors, we call it Sampratam Java. That it says here, Pendi Jungne Zope Sangyanam Tamchu Tuble Jungte Teangni Te Laglen She Ladar Lepe Yesenam Gilalen Sheparcha. Why it is important for him to write this text is because Pende Jungne, Pemba means helping beings. Deva means happiness, joy. From where does it comes from? Or the source of that, both of those comes from accomplished wisdom. Zok Sangye, Zok, accomplished wisdom. Ge means flourished with wisdom. Only if you have that kind of a mind, mental state, then only you can get unchangeable or the real happiness. In the perspective of Buddha Dharma, what we call it joy, what we call it happiness, happy, is not a joy. It is not a happiness. It is a temporary joy. It is a temporary happiness. So in order to have the ultimate happiness, ultimate joy, we have to understand what is happiness and what is joy. For that, we need to have Zoksangye, Zokpesangye, means Zok means accomplished, Ge means flourished, kind of a mental state. And in order to have that, you have to understand how to achieve that. That is Tambeche, through the teachings of Buddha only. There's no other way. You chant mantra, you chant Zambala Zarandai Swaha, I want to become a millionaire or billionaire, then I will become very happy. I will have what I have. It's not true. In order to have the ultimate joy, ultimate happiness, what Buddha's mind has achieved, if anyone wants to achieve that, then you have to follow the teachings or the advices of the person who achieved it. You have to understand that. Not only understand, but we have to implement that. As he mentioned earlier in his prostration, every moment, my body, speech, and mind's way of thinking, way of speech, way of action should be involved, totally engaged in that way. That he understands very well. Therefore, it very much depends. Therefore, we need to know what to do and what not to do. What to understand, what not to understand. How to invest your life, to where you should invest your life or your time, and where you should not. That must be understood. It very much totally depends on that. Therefore, I want to write the attitude of Bodhisattva's way of life. How to I would like to explain how to say the behavior of Bodhisattvas. So that's what he's going to talk about from now onwards. You see, now he has spoken that. So now he speaks something else. Maybe if instead of this, if he speaks about Zambala Zananda Soaha, then he will be punished in those days. Yeah. So he have to speak. He have to keep the words, and he have to finish the content, and he have to, until the end, he have to talk about that. Yeah. It's a how to say, it's a law made by some king, Tibetan king, but that's a temporary kind of a law. But otherwise, as myself, I get up and I say, oh, I do practice for the sake of all mother sentient beings. Soon as I finish that word, everything is for myself. You see, so therefore that has to be, in order to prevent that, also committing yourself is important. Don't you think so? now what he's going to speak, now it becomes the after prostration and after how to say commitment, and the reason why he's going to talk, you understand, right? So now the main part, what he's going to talk is Tajuringya Parkawa, how profound this human rebirth is, and the capability of, or the capability of this human rebirth. So that is Tajur Tuchenye Katobdir Dakshin Korwet Solet Rolchichir, and Yindang Sendo Yellow Mebani, and Yensem Gomba Gaselalin. So that means contemplating on the what we have now, what we have got now. Nothing to beg. We do not need to beg anyone. We do not need to look for it. We already have got it. What is that? Is this precious human rebirth? Not just human rebirth, but precious human rebirth. Why we call it precious human rebirth is we are free from 18 different rebirths. Maybe you know. We talked about that in a one row also. That is very important, which I don't want to repeat this again. Maybe you know. If you do not know, then you can ask me during the Q&A. And free from 18 different how to say rebirths, and we have 10 fortunes. Those who have 10 fortunes and free from 18 rebirths, and if we have that kind of a rebirth, then that is very precious. And only with that kind of a human rebirth can take us from this shore of samsara to the other shore of liberation or enlightenment, so it's called. So that is only that kind of a human rebirth is able to call it as a vehicle, or as a ship, or as a sail, which can sail us from this shore to another shore of liberation. Therefore, by understanding that, contemplate on that, try to analyze whether it's true or not, and that kind of a precious human rebirth is very rare, very profound. It is profound because it's rare. So, with any angle, due to the cause and conditions to have that, or how difficult it is to accumulate to have that cause and conditions, and by comparison with other rebirths, if you have those 18 qualities, so in any angle, you have to contemplate, you have to analyze, and you have to compare. First of all, compare it, then you can analyze whether you have it or not. So if you have that, then Dakshin Korbe Sula tells you, in order to release, or in order to save yourself and all the needed beings, yourself and others, to release from this, so as we call it, what do you call, ocean of suffering, or from samsara. So, well, there are different angles to think of it, but samsara is manifestation of, samsara is manifested, as it told, as it says at the beginning, when he commits to write this book, as it says that because of ignorant is the cause, or ignorant transforms the samsara. So in order to release means in order to dispel that kind of ignorance and transform our own ignored mind into wisdom mind, and others ignored mind into wisdom mind, day and night, without how to say, Yelwa means without distraction, without laziness. We should hear the profound Dharma. We should think the profound Dharma, and then whatever stage you got through thinking, analyzing, then put that into practice is a way of Bodhisattva's life, or way of Bodhisattva's, one of Bodhisattva's practice. So, I will just like to, maybe it's a half joke, but it's half true, that myself, when I gossip about worldly things, about when we gossip, you can gossip whole night, but still you don't fall into sleep. But when as soon as we start to talk about Dharma, after a few minutes, start to fall into sleep. What is the reason? What is the reason of it? It is because we do not understand the preciousness of human rebirth. The preciousness of human rebirth and the preciousness of each moment, the time. And maybe we do not understand the impermanence as well. And all those four thoughts which we talk about in Monroe at the very beginning, because we do not implement, or we do not contemplate on that, and we do not understand that, therefore we don't see the importance of Dharma. Therefore we fall into sleep. And soon as we talk about something else, we wake up. Everything is so clear. That has been happening. I don't know about you, but I'm talking about myself. Because of that, I am in this samsara. As it says, Mucho Thongme has very clearly have said, and we'll say again. Yeah, like that. So that is very important to realize. We want to fly into the space, but we don't want to open our wing. How can that be? How can that be possible? If you want to fly, we have to open our wing. Mentally, I want to fly, but I am very, how to say, somehow you don't want to open your wing. That is totally opposite what you hope and what you do. So therefore, that author Mucho Thongme writes this book for people like me, and there might be some of you there. So it's important to understand that. I'm talking about myself. When I listen to teaching, while I'm listening to teaching of a teacher, it's okay. But when I meditate, oh my God, I feel ashamed to tell you, and I understand how I am. Then after that, then Payul Pongwa. In Tibetan language, we call Payul Pongwa means giving up your father's land, where you belong to, you know. But actually, why? Because Inyengi Cholan Desha Chudriyo means towards your loving one, your relative, your father, your mother, my friend, my this, my that, and towards those you have so strong attachment, like a wave of a water, wave of ocean, you can say. Dai Chola Shedang Medabar means those who are so as called enemy, those who harms you, you get so much anger, hatred, jealous towards that, like a fire. Yengi Chola Ducha Chudrayo, Dai Chola Shedang Medabar. That kind of how to say consequences mostly get where you live, where you belong to, isn't it? And because of that, your wisdom or your intelligence becomes like in dark, and cannot differentiate what is good and what is bad, and you totally get engaged or involved by attachment and anger, like getting engaged into a darkness, cannot see what is good, what is bad. Therefore, we should get away from your father's nation. It means father's land, but anywhere you are living, doesn't have to be your father's, but anywhere, the place where you get that kind of atmosphere, then it is better. We should get away from that. That is one of the practice of Bodhisattva. Means those who want to practice Dharma should behave like that. You understand? You understand? We call it in Tibetan, how to say, tradition, we call Payul. Payul means where you belong to. So wherever you belong to, there you have more enemies, more to whom you can get attached, friends, relatives, and so on. So all those things are there, isn't it? So therefore, we renounce. We should renounce from that. But not necessarily where your father belongs to, wherever you are. If there are these conditions, we should renounce. It means that. The third chapter, it shows the importance of solitude, importance of how to say, getting retreated from that kind of atmosphere. Yulngen pangbe nyanung ringitip namyeng mebe gejurungang gipel rigba tangbe cholange sheke wenba temba geselalenin. You know, if you can memorize the hard text is very good. This text, you know, it's not very long. If you can memorize, yes. Whether in English or in Chinese or in Vietnamese or in Korean, doesn't matter. If you can memorize, I have memorized. Yeah, so if you can memorize this text, today we are talking about 5 chapters. Maybe until next week, if you can memorize this 5 chapters, it's very, very easy. Especially if you know the meaning, it's very easy. Okay? In 7 days, memorizing 5 chapters is 5, what do you call it? This is chapter, you call it?
Stanza.
Huh?
Stanza.
Standard.
Stanza.
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 How you spell?
Stanza.
Stanza.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like a paragraph of a poem.
Yeah, that paragraph. Yeah, paragraph or stanza, she said. Yeah. So if in 7 days, 5 paragraphs to memorize is very easy, isn't it? It's like memorizing five people's name. Or maybe maybe, yeah, 5 into 20 people's name. This is nothing. You memorize. Then the importance of being solitude is yulngen pangbe yungenung ringitip naming mebe gejurungangi pel ripa tangbe chulangi shike wenba temba geselalin. So the third paragraph shows the importance of being solitude, being renounced. That means yulngen pangbe ringitip. If you retreat from those kind of place, then your attachment and anger and this kind of a discriminated mind will slowly decrease. Therefore, you will not be distracted. Your mind will not be distracted towards that kind of a, how to say, you will not be, your mind will not be engaged into those kind of things. Therefore, your practice, mental practice, physical practice, verbal practice will automatically increase, enhance. Therefore, when your mind is away or retreated from those kind of mental state, your mind will be totally clear, clean, clear, transparent. You can see your mind. Therefore, you will understand the true meaning of Dharma. You will understand true nature of your mind, absolute nature of your mind. Therefore, you will have more trust and more devotion and devotion towards the Dharma. Therefore, you should retreat from those kind of how to say, place, and get retreated is one of the way of Bodhisattva's life. What do you think? Is it true? What do you think? Is it true?
Yes, Rinpoche.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Rinpoche.
Rinpoche.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the right way.
But you see, even if you go away from your country, but if you are mentally, if you are engaged in that, then there's not much use. Yeah. So anyway, then the fourth chapter tells us to renounce from this life's how to say, purposes. We should not engage. We should not how to say, invest our time and life for our times and life for the purpose of this life only. Then to renounce. We already said that, right? So that is that using Drogbe, because we should renounce, we should not be attached to what you have, to whom you are attached, because using Drogbe, Zashe Sosotal, Bebe Drube, Norze Shuldulu, Likin Drunkang, Namse Drube, Sendilo Tankase Lalin. So because no matter how long you have been together, your friends, your family, your father, your mother, your children, your wife, your relatives, whoever so, those who have been longest with you, accompanied with you, but you have to fall apart. There's no choice. No matter how much you love them, no matter how much you attach to them, you don't have any choice. Sooner or later, it is going to be separate, isn't it? So therefore, it does not mean you should hate them. You should you should not love them, but you should know how to love them. We should not be sort of, how to say, stick to, with your stinginess, like sting to it. Yeah, that only makes you suffer. All the belongings, all the wealth, belonging, whatever you have accumulated, there's no choice. Sooner or later, you have to leave them. Instead, you get a bit of detached to those belongings. Doesn't mean you have to throw away, but mentally get detached. Understand that you are going to, sooner or later, you have to leave it. Sooner or later, we are going to separate. So sooner or later, we are going to apart, whether you like it or not. There's no choice. Should means we are going to leave. We are going to leave behind whatever you have. Means not only that, but this physical body, like a borrowed house, like a hotel room. Sooner or later, the consciousness as a traveler, and this physical body as a hotel room, the traveler will leave, go away, get out of this physical body. No choice. No matter who you are, no matter how powerful you are, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how famous you are, no matter whoever so you are, we have to leave this body, which is like a how to say, like a rental house. When we have finished our payment, we have to go. So therefore, getting detached from this kind of mental attitude is intelligent wisdom. That is a way of Bodhisattva's life.
Và ngay kể cả cái thân vật lý của chúng ta cũng như vậy. Thân vật lý của chúng ta nó giống như là cái phòng khách sạn. Đến một ngày thì chúng ta cũng sẽ phải rời đi, giống như là chúng ta đến khách sạn thì đến một ngày chúng ta cũng phải ra đi. Thì cái thần thức của chúng ta cũng như vậy, nó chỉ ở trọ trong cái thân này giống như ở cái phòng khách sạn thôi, và chúng ta không có cái lựa chọn nào khác. Và cái sự xả ly cái thân vật lý, sự xả ly người thân yêu cũng như là những cái đồ vật sở hữu về mặt tâm, có cái sự không bám chấp, thì đó chính là sự thực hành của các vị Bồ Tát.
Yep. So maybe that much is today enough for today. So as I told you, if you can memorize the hard text, how to say, these what do you call paragraphs, it will be very good. And if you can memorize this, and if you can repeat every morning or every evening, thinking on the meanings of that, it will be very great help. And you can analyze whether what Ngulchu Thogme has taught, what he have said is true or not. What we think is true or what he said is true, you compare. When we compare that, then we will understand we have ignorant or he has ignorant. If we have ignorant, then it is good to dispel that ignorant by his wisdom. Really, that's how we should do it. Then only you can get benefit of learning Dharma. If you don't do that, you learn, and what you learn, you keep in your brain, and what you are, you keep in your heart, and heart and brain has a gap, and there's no use. Then there'll be no use. Yeah. What I'm saying, what I'm telling to you is not from me. That was taught by His Holiness Dingo Khyentse Rinpoche. Every time, every day when we finishes the teaching, he will repeat this again. Yeah. Okay, then so thank you very much. See you next Sunday.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you so much. 谢谢谢。
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you
Thank you,
very much.
Rinpoche.
仁波切再，
Thank
拜拜。
Thank you,
everyone.
Yeah.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Bun. Mr. Bin. Mr. Bin.
Bin.
Where
Okay.
Mr. Win?
I
Bye
see
bye.
somewhere. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye bye bye.
Bye. Good, thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
谢谢王教授。
谢谢王教授。
很抱歉哦，这个我们今天因为有电脑的问题耽误了很多我们下一次谢谢王教授。
对，不会，感恩王教授。
不是，我们下一次就能够希望能够直接从论